What is up, everyone, and welcome to the live stream with me, Drew Bricks, and 2BRICKS right here. Welcome, welcome. How are
Hello.
you today?
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.
I'm doing great. I'm here. It's sunny outside. I got a Lego set in front of me. I'm good.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I like to hear. So today, it's going to be the first episode of Late Night Lego, and I'm excited to do a little interview and with my buddy 2BRICKS. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, comments, excitements, put them
Concerns?
down in the chat. Answers, yeah. There you go. That's how we'll do. But we'll start off here with who are you, 2BRICKS? Who are you?
That is a good question.
Go ahead.
I'm primarily known to those in this audience as a Lego YouTuber, but I'm also an animator. Worked on several movies and TV shows over the years that you've possibly heard of, and yeah, this has kind of been my escape for a long time, and Lego, that is. And yeah, now I'm trying to kind of build a new career for myself around that because
Excellent.
I love me some Lego.
Right, right. So, did you when we talked before? Were you doing? Were you trying to do Lego full time?
Yes. Unfortunately, Lego is expensive.
Sure, it,
So
it really is.
every time I think to myself, like, okay, this time I can do it. I can do this full time. I'm going to build my mocks, and that's going to be it for me. Then, of course, I get some juicy opportunity falls in my lap, and I think like, I could use that money though.
Right.
And so yeah, currently I'm on a show through the end of the year, and I really wanted to be doing. I had a whole slew of content planned for the channel, and I just put everything on pause because I was like, I'm going to be working, and
Yeah.
it takes a lot out of you. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
So besides working with animation, which we'll get to in a minute here,
Yeah.
but what is your future for your building that like you had to put to the pause? Like if you give us a little surprise, not too much, but a little something something.
Of the plans for the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically want to build a full, Lego mock community. Like I like set reviews and things like that, but what I'm really interested in is building original stuff. So what I want to do is kind of do a full like live streaming Lego lifestyle stuff, creating the Lego room, things
Yeah.
of that sort, and then just concentrate on making the best models out there
Right.
with
Totally.
my custom blend of stability, accuracy, and model features. That's my like whole kind
Exactly.
of deal. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have anything specific to announce
Yeah.
other than I
Okay.
have a bunch of mocks coming up that you guys are gonna love, hopefully.
Like that ghost behind you,
Yeah.
which we'll definitely dive into for sure.
How do directions work? Yes, the
Right.
ghost back there.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I'm sitting in front of the ghost. But I can actually officially announce that the instructions for that are done as of
Heck yeah.
as of this morning. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Let's
that'll be
go.
dropping very, very soon on my Rebrickable page.
Very good. Yeah, because all you can find all of your sets and instructions
Yes.
on Repickable, right?
Yeah, if you follow me at YouTube, 2BRICKS is the name of my channel, obviously. I have all the links on my videos for my Rebrickable page. You can see all my mocks and stuff. And you can, every purchase helps to support the channel, obviously, and I appreciate that greatly. But yeah, that's coming very soon, and I've had a project that's been languishing in incompleteness for over a year at least, probably more at this point, which is my Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
That I can also say is just about done.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
very excited about that.
I was checking out because that thing was how long ago was that? That was a while back that you did that, right?
I think I posted the finished images of the actual physical model like 2 years ago at this point.
Mm.
And then it took me like 6-7 months to translate it into digital, because that's how I work. I do physical bricks first, translate it into digital, and then I partnered up with the folks over at the Brick Collective, and so I sent them the digital model, and they're just getting done on the instructions. So
Nice.
It's been a long road to bring that thing to production, but yeah,
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
I'm very excited about it. And I get hassled about it every day too. If you're like, Falcon when?
Right. I think I remember when you released that like 2 foot tall, maybe a foot and a half tall clone trooper, phase one clone trooper. I
Yeah.
remember getting that. I came across that. I think that was on YouTube. I came across it and I bought it. I was like, dude, that thing was sick.
Oh,
That thing
thank you.
was sick, and it was super easy to build too. And I wish I had it with me, but I remember where I set it in my room back in California. But
Oh, that's awesome.
that was a fun thing to build. I remember posting it, and then you responded. I was like, yeah.
I'm a humble small creator, so I like to keep my eyes peeled for everybody who mentions me and
Definitely
say thanks.
right.
But one day when I blow up.
What do you mean? You got like what 17,000 on YouTube? I consider that blowing up.
That's a meager channel by the standards of what I'm hoping to achieve eventually.
Of course.
Yeah.
We can always shoot for more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. But yeah, let's kind of dive into like your Lego story and how it started, because you're not originally from the United States. You're from England.
That is true.
So if you want to tie that in a little bit, and then after do more Lego, and then talk more about your experience in England if you want, and growing up there, and how it was like coming here.
Yeah, I mean, so I emigrated to the United States in 2008 for school. I was studying animation. Nice. I'd gotten a bachelor's in London, and there wasn't a ton of people doing CG, at least school-wise at that time. Mm-hmm. So I found a program in Florida from a little defunct school that no longer exists, and I came over here and I learned CG. I learned the very basic, overview of CG stuff.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was done with that, I'd actually met my now wife, Yaya, and we both were doing animation, same thing. So we were like, well, we'll go to California and we'll make it happen.
So were you guys working on the same project together?
Yeah, we were in the same master's program.
Okay.
Yeah, both learning CG stuff, and it's one of those full deals where they make you sort of create a short film at the end, which you have to do every single aspect of yourself. Which, if you've ever met a student who's had to go through that experience, they will commiserate with you because it is absolutely awful. Trying to do everything. Yeah. That's the reason they have departments in movie studios and things to create all the stuff, because you're not supposed to do it all yourself.
Right.
So yeah, we had some films of dubious quality. We came out here with nothing, and we were both like, well, we just got to get jobs to tide ourselves over, right? Oh, if you're wondering what I'm building, by the way, I'm doing Miles Morales.
Nice.
Excuse me, everybody. Sorry about your ears. But yeah, so I was like, okay, so I need to get some kind of a job to tide me over until my ship comes in, which it definitely will soon.
Right.
It did not. It was not soon. But I started working at Universal Studios Hollywood, selling tickets at the front gate. It was not a fun experience for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. But then I noticed that nearby there's a Lego store that was hiring, and I went and switched over and worked there instead, and that kind of reignited my passion for Lego.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I ended up meeting a lot of really cool people while I was over there, because Lego is like a beloved hobby by creatives and all kinds of cool people. So I met so many interesting folks coming into the store just shopping. Like J.J. Abrams was in there pre-Star Wars.
Wow.
And he bought a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Of course.
And just a bunch of cool folks. And then I ended up becoming friends with a television and film actor by the name of Donald Faison, who you know from Scrubs and a bunch of stuff. And he ended up kind of hooking me up, getting me some connections to people that he knew in the animation industry, because I was telling him that I want to do animation. And then I just sort of, my co-love of Lego and animation sort of split at that point. Nice. And then I just started working on different movie projects and stuff, and then went back to school to actually properly learn how to do CG animation after my my very introductory degree. and then yeah, and then so finally kind of got my career kicked off, and then I could actually afford to buy Lego again. So because I had to start from
Right.
scratch because all my Lego was back in England. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, so it's
So
funny. It's
are
kind of been intertwined all these years. Lego and animation has been sort of linked.
have you two questions.
Uh-huh.
Are you allowed to disclose anything you've worked on in animation for any
Sure.
movies?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I was on BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty briefly back in the TV
Nice.
days. I worked on a great little HBO show called Animals that nobody saw, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It had like this real janky style to it, which I really appreciated. It did not look like your slick, overproduced animation, so that was really fun. And then when I went over to the feature side, I worked on How to Be a Dragon 2. So
Wow.
big responsibility working on that as your first film,
Yeah.
capping out this trilogy.
Yeah.
I worked on a movie called Everest, um, Raya and the Last Dragon. So that's when I switched over to Disney. Encanto. What am I missing? Strange World and Wish, which is the feature that is coming out this year to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of Disney.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and
So
now I'm working on a thing called Spellbound, which is coming out next year.
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So like in those movies, what did you animate? I guess would be the correct term.
Yeah, that is correct. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So basically, we get given scenes, and there's characters in the scene, and sometimes props. Sometimes there's background characters too that need to do some kind of specific acting, and we get a bunch of controllers, like on a puppet, and we move the characters around, and we are responsible for their movement, their facial expressions, obviously syncing the lip sync to the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely fun and interesting and challenging and demanding.
Yeah.
No two shots are ever alike, and there's
Sure.
always something you've never done before in every shot. So it's continually tricky for sure.
Yeah. No, for real. For real.
Yeah.
So like what has been like the hardest one that you had to work on?
Oh boy, let's see. Okay, I guess technically speaking, How to Train Your Dragon was because it was my first movie and it was extremely technical. That was the hardest from just a getting it done perspective. But creatively, that was a really fun movie that kind of meshed with my own style. It's sort of like realistic, but pushed a little bit. And yeah, that kind of I enjoyed that side of it. But yeah, the technical side was really tricky for me because I had to learn a whole new suite of software that because DreamWorks has their own proprietary software.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all of that and learn how to work in the mechanics of like dragons and flight and all this crazy stuff. So yeah, it was a big learning curve on that movie. But I think Encanto for me was the hardest from a acting perspective, just because I really wanted to get it right. I really loved that movie.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of pressure on myself to like do the best that I could.
Sure.
So yeah.
So
that
like
was like self own on that one.
Yeah.
Making it harder than it needed to be.
Right. And then flashing the Mike Wazowski. We love that. That's like Mike Wazowski and Sully have always been one of my favorites. Like Cars is one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
But yeah, so like you guys would take a series of scenes that you were just assigned to and you had to finish by a certain date.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So typically, I mean, it varies project to project, studio to studio, but typically you're given, say, 2 to 6 shots, usually somewhat linked. Either they're like one after another in the scene, or say you have like a scene where it's cutting back and forth, right? You might get all the shots of the one character talking and somebody else might get all the other. It really just varies.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you get your deadlines and you basically go off and you shoot some reference of yourself. Typically, not every animator does, but
Sure.
You figure out what you're going to do with the scene, and then you do what's called blocking. Blocking is just the really rough presentation of what your ideas are.
Yeah.
Because what you're given in the scene can it comes from the layout department, and it can vary. It can be like literally characters in a T-pose moving around the scene. Or it can be like sometimes there's some kind of complex acting in there too. Like it depends on the time they have and all that. And like how fleshed out the director's ideas are. So depending on that, you have to try to either figure out how you're going to honor what the storyboards and the layout has done, or you're going to basically start from scratch and say like, this is my vision for the shot. And then you basically rough it in really quick and you show the director like, this is what I'm thinking. And they buy off on it and you can go ahead and animate it for real.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. That's pretty sweet. That's definitely got to be a little bit daunting at the same time too.
Yeah, it is.
That's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, the first time you sit in the hot seat, they call it, and you tell the director like, this is what I'm thinking. And also the first time you play a shot for them and you wait for their reaction.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the reaction is silence and you're like, oh no.
You're like, oh no. No.
They hate it. Oh no. Yeah, so it is very scary for sure at times.
Oh, I bet.
Most of the time the directors are incredibly supportive and they understand what you're trying to do and they go, okay, that's not going to work for this, but I like where this is headed, and it's kind of a conversation. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I can't quite relate to that level of, I don't know if intensity is the right word. But intensity, I guess you could say, because it's like, it's a pretty intense situation showing the director like, hey, what if we went this way? You know?
Yeah.
But I like to make films like on my camera that I have, besides outside of Lego, which a little secret, if anyone catches this later, is I use my phone because it's the easiest. I can just do because I have an old MacBook, and so I hate editing on that thing. But I've done quite a few just personal films, like with outdoor stuff and like rock climbing and stuff that I like to do. And I remember showing my two bosses that were like, yeah, so we hear you're a decent filmmaker and we'd like to see some of your stuff. Maybe you'll do some filming for our company for building the tiny homes. And I was like, okay. It was just silence. And I was just like, okay, here you go. And then they're like, then they turn to you, they're like, yeah, that's great. We love it. Let's do this. And you're like, woohoo!
Nice.
That, like, oh man, like my heart is just sitting there, man.
Yeah.
And all you hear is,
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty rare, I found, to get like the full laugh that you're hoping for or the full reaction that you want. But usually that's because the person you're showing it to is considering a million things at once.
Right.
Before they speak, they want to make sure that they're like being very clear, because it's very easy to go down the wrong path and go spend a week on something and show it again, and they're like, no, not like that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think a lot of times I would get nervous, like, oh my god, they hate it, but it's really just because they're gathering their thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially when they like have a certain mission statement for where their company is going.
Yeah.
And where the movie's going.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I see we got some people that have joined in. Feel free to just listen, chill, and hang out with us. Or if you guys want to ask us questions in the chat, feel free to say hi, whatever you want.
Hey, everyone.
Definitely answer your questions and say what's up. But yeah, so working at Lego, how was that? So do you still have your yellow apron?
I do not.
Oh, did they make you give it back, or did you just end up getting rid of it?
Yeah, no, you give it back at the end. Or at least back in my day, we did, yeah.
Gosh, I was going to say, because there are some Lego creators out there, or content creators, I should say, that still have their apron.
Nice.
And I'm like, because like that's what I thought. I'm like, I could have swore you had to give that back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've never worked at Lego.
Policies change a lot. Like at the time, we were still doing grab bags out of like people would return sets, and we had to open the sets up, just put all the pieces into a big bin, and then turn them into grab bags to sell. Which to me was insane, because I'm like,
yeah,
you could get a Death Star, and you could buy like 10 of these grab bags and have like 90% of a Death Star in there. And then they were like, okay, so you want to remove the figures first. We don't want to put minifigures in the grab bags, because again, put in extremely valuable stuff just in like a $10 grab bag. And
That's
then yeah,
crazy.
they just change their rules all the time. So like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, especially during COVID, they changed a lot of their stuff. Like no
Yeah.
pick a brick wall, no nothing, and
Yeah.
which obviously makes sense. But it's just crazy. Like, because like I worked retail during COVID, and that was I
How was
remember
that?
like I remember the first few weeks. Like, did you ever go out to Palm Springs to the Cabazon outlets?
Uh-huh.
And so I worked at one of the stores there
Oh,
at a
nice.
surf company called Rip Curl.
Hmm.
Uh, and I remember the first week coming back, or sorry, the week right before everything shut down, and because I was supposed to go to France that week that everything shut down,
Yeah.
but as the story continues to keep going, but uh, it was wild because I remember this lady came in and we had these big candles that were scented surf wax, and they were like, I can't I can't smell this, and then she just like looks at us and just goes and just starts
Oh
walking
god.
all over the place,
Oh
and I'm just
no.
like looking at her like, is this for real right now?
Oh my god. Were you being pranked? Was that a YouTube
No, that was
skit?
she was dead serious. Like that was just
Holy cow.
she was just unaware of what was going on, and I
What's
was
a
like,
COVID?
but yeah, I
Oh
was just
man.
like, yo, this is straight out of pocket. What's going on, man? And
Yep.
like, oh, because we didn't have changing rooms, and so well, we did, but they wouldn't allow anyone to use the changing rooms because it's like a 6x6, and
Right.
they didn't want to have to spray down and everything. Because even once everything started opening up more, we still had where we had to close off everything, and like if you tried something on, we had to let it sit for 24 or 48 hours before we put it back out onto the shelf again. And so, which that definitely kind of hurt our sales for sure, just because like no one can try it, especially with swimwear, um,
Right.
which was a bummer. But yeah, it was still fun. It was good, and it was just like so many crazy things going on, man.
Yeah. I don't think anyone will ever be able to explain to future generations how crazy it felt going through COVID.
Yeah,
I think everybody has a story of like remembering where they were at when the lockdown started.
right.
I had just started at Disney. I think I had been in the studio for 10 days.
Mm,
And then they were like, there's this weird condition in Wuhan. And we are like, ooh, hope it doesn't come here.
right.
And then it got crazy so quick. Everybody was like kind of panicked, and everyone was like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
One of my buddies just came running up to me. He was like, buy toilet paper. You got to buy toilet paper right now, bro. Go out and get as much as you can right now. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And then
Get
like
toilet paper and GameStop now.
yeah, for real. And then the next day they were like, everyone go home for 2 weeks. We're going to figure this out. And then
Yeah.
we ended up making the next 3 movies from home, or at least I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So did they give you guys a laptop for that?
Mhm.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It made it, I mean, pretty much like it's exactly the same as if I was working on a personal project. I just
Sure.
roll into my office, open my laptop, log into my work machine, which is over there in the studio, and work remotely. And it was smooth as. Like,
Yeah.
considering the fact that we'd never done anything like that before at Disney, like making a whole feature that way was insane. And then just continuing, like doing it again and again.
Definitely.
It's kind of crazy that we pulled it off, but
Right.
yeah,
That's
pulled it
pretty
off.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
While you were working at Lego, did you get any good sets?
I did. Yeah. I bought like 3 of the Black Pearl
Oh,
back when that was out.
nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you keep one sealed?
Nope.
Oh.
But it was $100 set at the time, and I was like, my paycheck isn't that great, but I have to get me at least one of these because we had a 50% off day that for employees.
Yeah.
I don't think they even do those anymore. Man, that's so sad.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I have to get this set. It's so cool. And then I just was like, screw it, I'm gonna get 2.
That's what that was like with the today they got massive sales on Lego right now. They got the gunship at like what 280 or 270, and then
Oh wow, yeah.
the Luke's land speeder at 150 right now. It's just like crazy killer deals. It's just
I wish I had waited to get those sets.
right.
Dang it.
You have the big UCS gunship right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I want that one so bad.
I would really like to do a minifig scale one at some point, but so many people have recently done incredible ones that I'm just like, oh man, I'm a little intimidated, to be honest.
Right. No, I feel
that's always been a dream of mine to do a nice gunship. Yeah. But what do you think about the current state of Lego in terms of like all these massive sets coming out and then getting discounted super quick? Like, I'm a little worried about the sustainability of it. I don't know how everybody else feels.
I think so. Like, going off of what I've heard from other people, like they're really trying to appeal to the AFOLs for sure, like with the black wall they call it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great, but I think COVID was that big spike that they're going to get for a long time.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to bring down prices or make smaller sets and have these UCS things come out every once in a while, not like all the time.
I agree.
Because they're pushing them too hard, and then like the idea sets are cool, but like you're basically paying something really expensive just for cool minifigures.
Yeah. Well, I think they have tried to step up the there's been really nice ideas builds of late.
Yes, fair. That is true.
But yeah, minifigs are a huge draw for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry sometimes about the kid experience that I remember having of just like getting the $5, $10, $20 sets and feeling like you had a pretty nice pile of stuff. And I feel like some of those are going away and it makes me a little sad.
Right back when a battle pack was actually $10.
Yeah. Even before that, like I remember there's always a little like $5 box like this size at the checkout, and it'd be a nice little treat. And you don't see much of that. I mean, we have poly bags,
right?
But it's not the same, like a little guy on a jet ski felt like something. A poly bag doesn't feel like something kids really play with. At least I don't think so. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's why like they somewhat do that, but they're trying to branch it out to other people. Like, for example, like they do the little, like if you go to the Lego store, you can get the flowers, you can get a scooter, you can get this, which is like cool because it's like $10 and there's like about 100 pieces.
Yeah.
And like what I did with the Land Rover Defender here, like I got that, I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I added a whole bunch of upgrades because I really like off-roading.
Mm-hmm.
And so I added a whole bunch of upgrades to this one. And I was like, that reminded me of being a kid again, like getting a set and remaking it almost, or upgrading it to what I think it should be.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I miss those things, man, because now it's like sometimes you can get good poly bags, sometimes you can't. Like Ninjago and the newest Batman poly bags are really, really good because you get awesome figures. And
yes, I did like those. That is true.
Yeah, the Batman with the cool was it the plastic cape kind of thing? Mm-hmm. That thing was sick. I love that because you can only get that one with the poly bag or with whatever that's called, the Bat Cave that just came out.
Oh right, yeah. And
so that's kind of a cool way to pay $5 to get that cool figure, and you get a cool like gargoyle looking thing. And
that was a sick set.
Yeah, it was.
I gotta grab that next time I see it because I keep forgetting to get it. I keep forgetting that Lego DC is a thing because they make so few sets, but
right. And when they do, they're decently expensive.
I kind of wonder if the reason for that is that like outside of marketing to like nostalgia stuff, they're just kind of like, is a new Aquaman actually going to come out though? Like, you know what I mean? Because Lego has to plan their stuff so far in advance. I just feel like maybe they're just like nervous to invest a bunch of money in new sets for like the Flash movie that suddenly nobody cares to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that. It's definitely of risk, and which may also be the reason why the Lego what is that called where you vote for them? I just spaced on the name.
Ideas?
Yeah, ideas is starting to become more because it's like, all right, well, if 10,000 people want it, there's at least 10,000 sales right there.
Right.
Or at least you could say at least 5,000 sales.
Yeah.
You know, which was crazy. Like, because I was watching somewhere that like the one that they did for BTS, that one has blown up, and like the reason why it blew up to get on Lego Ideas is because the BTS army was just like, yeah.
Yep.
And which is cool because now even more people who weren't really ever into Lego are getting into Lego now.
Yeah.
Which is cool, which may also drive up the prices more, but I feel like that's a risk I'm willing to take to get even better sets.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love the idea of bringing in total like Lego newbies that have never even built a single set out over something really specific that they're in the fandom of. That's great.
Exactly.
And it's also cool that Lego Ideas means that we can get stuff that you never in a million years would have expected you'd get, like the Fab 5 Lego set. Like,
yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? There's so many things that parents asked me because they're just coming all the time and be like, where's the Mario Lego? Where's the Sonic Lego? And I'd be like, that doesn't exist, nor will it ever exist. And yet 10 years later, here we are. Those both exist. So I'm sorry to those parents. I'm sorry. You're vindicated. I was wrong.
Exactly.
I had a funny story one time. I actually, a mom came in and she was like, my son wants this. And she pointed at the Death Star. How much is it? And I was like, it's $500. And she's like, no, it can't be $500. He wants this. And she pointed again. And I was like, no, that's the Death Star. It costs $500. And then she like holds it up really close to me. And she's like, no, this. And she points at the mouse droid in the set. And she's like, he just wants this. He doesn't care about anything else. And I literally was like, hang on one second. And I went to the back and I built her a mouse droid exactly with those same pieces out of our spares bin.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, here you go. And she was like, oh, I don't have to buy the set? And I was like, I mean, you could.
Right? I mean, I won't say no.
I'm not going to stop you, but if this is all you want, then here you go.
Right? Which I think you doing that is like a perfect example of what the Lego community should be.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I hate to say this and like bring people down, but like there's just some people that like just could give a rip that you're in the community. And like then there's other people who are just absolutely awesome to talk to. And because like I asked not tons, but a good amount of people like, hey, I would love for you to be on this. I'd love to meet you, talk to you, and do an interview with you. And like they could give a rip. And I was just like, and it's the same people who like on their channels were like, I hate how people are elitist. So I'm like,
yeah,
just who cares? Like, it's just so funny how people are.
Yeah.
But you know, who am I to say anything? But it's there's a lot of great people, and that's what I try to focus on more than anything else.
Yeah.
So, which I'm excited that you're on here. So thanks for joining.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me. Because
of course,
sometimes it does get to be a very insular hobby if you just aren't like actively trying to put yourself out there in the community.
Right.
And I do sometimes forget that I'm in a community and I should be socializing, you know, because you got working from home. Animation is already a pretty time intensive kind of gig, so I don't have a lot of time to be out and about seeing friends as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
And it's good for you to reach out and remind people that, hey, there's a lot of us out here, and we,
right?
You know, yeah, heck yeah.
And I always feel like doing a live stream, especially like with someone else, it's just the way that like it's like building. Oh yeah, nice. They built that in under 30 minutes, guys. Under 30 minutes. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Look at me. I'm setting records over here. It's incredible.
Guys, world records have been broken on this stream. You either here or you weren't.
Have you told folks what you're building there, by the way? You're very cool mock in front of you.
Been rebuilding the Jedi Temple. I've always wanted to build one, and it seems perfect when I moved to Tennessee, restarting my Lego collection to build the Jedi Temple. I feel like that's a good way to head back into Lego again. And,
Yeah, I've been following along your progress. It's looking super
thank
sick.
you. I appreciate that.
Are you going to do any particular scene or like an amalgamation of different scenes?
I definitely want to do a scene, like for example, it'd be kind of hard to show, but underneath, if you remember from any of the videos that I've posted 1,000 times, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have the archives there. I was thinking like I'll take multiple different kinds of pictures, and have so that like there's just different scenes always going along.
Yeah.
But like the not the generic, but the common like tables in the middle, and have some famous Jedi's in there, or people part of the Jedi Council in there. The big open spots will be very just like, what is that? Creative. What's that called? Creative claims. Like this is just what I think could be happening. But I think the third level is definitely going to be the part where like I'll have the Jedi Council room with all the younglings and Anakin in there.
Yeah.
You have to have that if you're doing the Jedi Temple during Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's it called? I might tie in some reference to the video games, and what else? I might add Grogu's somewhere in there, like in that back hallway that I have. I might do that as they're trying to escape, or up here on top of the platform. But I think I'm going to make this 3 levels tall, and so
nice.
That's kind of the way I plan on going with this. So
that's awesome.
Right now, I'm just working on one of the pillars that has been severely damaged over time. But
that's rad.
But I'm supposed to get more pieces that come in today, and I'm going to add some cool red banners in that are brick built instead of cloth. And so,
oh, nice.
I'm excited to see how that goes.
I love brick built banners.
Right?
Yeah.
Some nice dark red. I feel like dark red would look good, and I feel like dark red would be in the Jedi Temple somewhere.
I think so. They're all about that dark red color scheme.
Right?
For the Republic and such.
Exactly.
Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna do maybe my very next mock will be Ahsoka's T6.
Ooh, nice.
Because it played a really big part in the Ahsoka show, which I loved. Massive thumbs up for Dave Filoni on that one. He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that was good, dude. The flashback to the Clone Wars, that was awesome.
Spoiler alert! Yes, yes. The fact that they did that makes me really happy. But the fact that people are now saying we want a live-action Clone Wars show makes me sad, because I don't want to see more Clone Wars. We already saw 7 seasons worth. It was great. Yeah. I want to see new stuff, you know?
Right. True.
But the show itself was rad, and I want to get the interior in there with the training room, because I have not seen a T6 with an interior yet, other than I saw a UCS kind of sized one, right. But I don't think it has the interior that we see in the show. I think it has some other stuff in there. So that's my goal.
Gotcha.
But yeah, who knows when and how long that'll take, and depends how much time I have after.
I feel you.
Yeah.
How much energy you have too. Sometimes.
Yes, that's a huge factor. Like sometimes animation can be really expressive and free flowing, and like you're just kind of laying down ideas, and sometimes you're literally looking at the pixels of like there's a knee and there's something popping in the knee, and you put what's called an arc tracker on it, so you can see where it is every key, and you have to just go in there and massage it ever so slightly. And sometimes it could just really just drain you doing that stuff. So it depends week to week, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I remember like, because this is technically my second channel, because my first one was like, what was it? Bricktown Studios or something like that. And I don't even remember how I came up with the name, but I did somehow. And it was fun. And I remember building Utapau live on that, and that was fun. but it just never took off the way that this channel did. And I feel like that's mainly just because I didn't have shorts back then. But which I feel like kind of affects me in my long form content and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I still enjoy it.
I must admit, I have never made a single YouTube short to this day. I just haven't done it.
If you want 60 subscribers like that, just do a popular sound. And it's so stupid. It is the sounds that, like, there's 500 million YouTubers in this platform, and you may never see me again. I'm not looking for a like or a comment or a subscribe. And then it just ends right there. And it's like 13 seconds long. And like, boom, 3,000 views and like 60 subscribers, 24 comments. You're just like, what the heck is going on? And I will say, like, I did that for like a few of them to like kind of promote, like, hey, this is a long form content over here. Come over here.
Right.
It didn't do anything except blow that up. And people are like, this is annoying. It's the same thing. I'm like, I know. It's the same sound. And so like I slowly like stopped doing that and just found other sounds because I'm like, I just felt like I was repeating myself, and it's not that fun. But now I kind of figured it out, and I'm like, okay, I now know what I really want. Because like there'd be days like I used to burn myself out so quickly with Lego because I'd be like hard for 2 weeks straight, and then I'd be like, I don't want to touch a single Lego for a long time. And then now I'm like, okay, hey, when I feel like I'm pushing myself just a little too much, I'm just gonna not do anything for that day. Yeah. And I come back the next day, I'm like, oh, I have an idea. Boom, it comes out the way I want it to.
That's the way it should be, you know?
Exactly.
You build when the passion is there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I've never been like a real content like hog or anything. I've never felt like I wanted to chase views, so that's why I've always been kind of like bad at YouTube in that way, because I just kind of make stuff when I'm ready to.
Yeah. Hello? Oh, it looks like we lost him. The stream has frozen. No! That's right. Hopefully we'll be coming back here soon. I don't know what happened. 44 minutes, 45 minutes going strong without a lag spike, and we hit a lag spike. Oh no. It looks like his internet went down. That's all right. We'll still be killing it. Don't worry, boys and girls. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. Oh, there we go.
Hey, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
We hit the 45 mark and it said, you're done.
Hey, everybody. I might have kicked my modem or something. It's under my desk.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't think I did,
like,
but
I clicked on to the live stream on my phone, and it said that like I was like within like 3 seconds of whatever was promoting live, and then you were just like,
oh no.
And I was like, no, they got my boy.
That thing that parents used to say, if you make that face, you'll get stuck like that. That actually does apply nowadays.
Right.
To be in the middle of a live stream and all of a sudden you're like, burr.
Right.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I totally forgot what we were talking about.
I did too, not gonna lie.
Chatters, tell us what we were talking about.
Right. Right. I'm trying to think.
Oh, I was saying I was bad at YouTube because I don't do shorts.
Oh, gotcha.
But I know that YouTube is actively promoting the heck out of shorts right now because they would like some of that TikTok money.
Yeah, true.
So I really should be just, if nothing else, to remind people that I exist while I'm kind of like down. But I just hate not having a new project to get people excited. But yeah, now that the Ghost is nearing completion, or is done, waiting to be released, I can focus on something else.
Definitely. I agree. I agree.
So is there anything else you want to know about my intriguing, interesting life that I have led?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Tell us your greatest fears and your worst
Ooh.
nightmare.
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
No, not really. I don't know. To be remembered as a sellout and a hack. That's my greatest fear.
No, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Yeah. What do you do? Any other hobbies? And besides obviously Lego and animation,
Well,
and
living in
media?
living in SoCal, I do a lot of hiking.
Nice.
I have my dog Parker, and he takes up like 60% of my day on a good day.
Oh yeah.
So I guess he counts as a hobby.
Definitely.
I like to draw, but I never have time to do it.
Yeah.
I like to read, but I never have time to do it. So I just do I'll do an audiobook, and if some kind of a thing, like I used to be like, oh, Inktober, it's an excuse to draw.
Right.
Now I'm like, yeah, but I'm busy though. So I just have myself to blame, really. I just need to make time for these things.
No, I feel you. I remember I was really into drawing. I loved drawing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was also dating someone at that time who was a big time drawer. I felt like that's probably why I had a lot of motivation to draw.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's fun. I don't get the same benefit as I do like building Lego, because I'm very much, as I obviously drawing and stuff is very kinesthetic.
Right.
But building, I love seeing a 3D model in front of me. And so that's probably why I'm a framer by trade and by profession. But that's also why I love Lego, because I don't know, I can build something like this in a matter of seconds of what's coming out of my mind fluidly. Yeah. And boom, it's right there. And I love it. But like, I also do guitar and stuff. And so like, I remember they were like, oh, like if you're frustrated at life and stuff, why not you just journal? I'm like, because I don't feel like I'm getting out. But when I play guitar and just do my free solos, like that is journaling right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like each note is a feeling, is a thought, is a saying, and I just love that so much. And I love playing guitar.
That's super cool. Yeah, I've never had a single instrument that I could play. I was like, I made a ukulele, and I was like, gonna learn to play it, but no time.
Right? Right. Never enough time in the day, besides to sleep, eat, and repeat.
Yeah. Conduit Plays is impressed with your Jedi Temple.
Ah. Well, thank you, Conduit Plays. I appreciate that. How are you today, man?
Yeah, how are you, Conduit Plays? I hope you're well. You know what's funny? So many people, when they hear that I'm an animator and I work for big studios, are like, oh, you're living the dream. Like, everybody gets to see your work. You get to see your name up on the big screen. Yeah. But what's funny is doing Lego YouTube stuff is infinitely more creatively rewarding to me.
Sure.
Because, A, everybody can see exactly what you've done when it comes to releasing a mock, right? Yeah. And then the idea of transmitting from my brain into somebody else's hands a model that I've conceived of, and coming up with the instructions to like guide them through that process of building it the way that I envisioned. That I don't know, there's just something so direct about that relationship that I feel like is somehow way more satisfying.
Right.
Because once you've seen your name highlighted on the screen a few times, it's cool and all, but like nobody really knows what I did on that movie.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
And the amount of times people have said, I'll be like, oh, did you like the movie that I worked on? And they'll be like, I mean, it was well animated. And it's kind of like, and that's like, it's kind of I don't know. It's like a disconnect between the actual labor that went into it.
Right.
Whereas I feel like every sort of calorie that I put into a mock, people get to experience that.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
And they have a relationship to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of an ongoing process too. Like people can give me feedback. I can see what other mock makers are doing, get inspired by what they're doing, and it's just a much more direct, kind of fluid process,
exactly.
and I love it.
Oh, nice conduit plays. Marching band, trumpet. I played the trumpet for a few years. That was a lot of fun. I guess we can show it up there. Sweet. Hey, that's pretty cool. The marching band, play trumpet, piano, and a few. What are the other few others that you play? I'm very curious, especially as a musician myself. What else do you play?
Yeah, and also in the next stream, we need to be providing the background music.
Right, exactly. Hey, can you make us an opening to our next live stream? That would be dope. I will pay you $1 and a shout out because I am broke.
Yeah, I think music is a huge missing component for me. Like I hate using the generic YouTube music.
Yeah.
And I really want to work with a composer to come up with some cool jingles and some cool themes to put in the background of videos, because it's just so dry when there's no music, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I feel you. I feel you. I actually, surprisingly, what's it called? I use a Rush by Adobe Premiere, and they got some decent music for opening up, like titles and stuff like that I liked using.
That's cool.
Use Order 60 theme and clone theme. So yeah, I like that idea. I did actually for some of my shorts and some of my TikToks. I think even Reels as well. I used some Order 66 opening up. That was a lot of fun to use and felt immersive.
Heck yeah.
So Conduit Plays, do you have any questions for us? Me being a mock builder and a framer by trade, and 2BRICKS, also known as Richard, a mock maker and animator. Do you have any questions for us that you'd like for us to answer? If not, that's totally fine. If you just want to hang out, or if you want to tell us something about you, besides that we already know you play in the marching band, which is pretty sick. Feel free to ask away.
And I'll entertain you with some fun Hollywood stories in the meantime of my crazy adventures out here in Hollywood land. One time I was working in a set shop where we make props for stop motion things, and Danny Trejo was in the movie.
Oh, no way.
So they gave him a tour of the shop.
Yeah.
And at that time I had been an intern working at the studio, but the person who I was interning under had to leave, so I was left to finish their project on their behalf. And so they came around, and there's this huge model of like an airship that I had built like 60% of as an intern, having no idea what I was doing, just slapping things on with glue and just being like, I hope it sticks. And Danny Trejo comes in, he's like, man, the stuff you guys do is so cool. Like, this is amazing. Like, how many years you been doing this? And I was like, a while.
Like 17.
It's like I've been in my mind. I'm like 3 weeks.
Yeah. That is so cool, dude.
And
so cool.
Danny Trejo, I learned, is really tiny. He's a short king, but
really
we stand the short kings.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he's got so much charisma and machismo that comes out of his natural allure. You know, he doesn't need to be imposing physically.
Right.
But yeah, I'm 5'10", so if he's short to me, then I was like, oh, yeah, by Hollywood standards.
Right.
It cracks me up that like people like the Fast and the Furious stars have themselves artificially made to look taller and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, nah, don't worry about that.
Exactly.
Just be
my girlfriend just told me DeSantos is wearing high heels or something like that in his boots. I was like, there's so much controversy about that. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Like, bro, come on.
Right? Just be proud of who you are.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Conduit Play says, You ever dabbled in the mechanical side of Lego? Yes, I have. Just a little dabble. Um, I guess this counts. Well, I also like GBC, the Great Ball Contraptions, that especially, what is it? Beyond the Brick posts about all the time. I could watch that for a long time. But there is a cool YouTuber. I forget what his name is. I can't. So credit to him. But he made a box that you crank and things will pop up. And so my mom really loves dolphins, and so I made her this gray box with the ocean, and I had a dolphin pop up every time you crank it.
Oh, JK Brickworks, right?
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what it was. And so I kind of followed that along and found all the pieces, and I made that for my mom. And that was definitely, I think, one of the hardest times I ever had to work on a Lego that wasn't a Lego set or whatever, just because I hadn't done that gear movement. But it was very satisfying. I really want to build a Baja truck that is be able to use as an RC car for Lego. That would be cool.
That's a great idea.
Right? Have you done anything mechanical in Lego?
No, I've been trying to incorporate more and more like geared mechanisms into my builds. Like the first one that I ever did was probably one of the most challenging was for this. The internals of that to get it to be like a single fluid motion.
Yeah. Is that with bands in there or just gears?
It's just Technic lift arms and strategy. So like it basically has a scissoring thing that when you push down on the button, the bottom half of the X is pinned, and then you're basically pushing the center of the thing up. So then that just creates that, and then I have a little a bar and a stud connection underneath where when it's open, the bar and stud connection engages, so it kind of keeps it in place.
Nice.
Took me a long time to figure that out, but yeah, I like doing some gears and stuff, but I haven't done anything motorized. I really would like to mess around with that.
Right.
Yeah,
All right, let's see here. Well, first off, he says that's a cool mechanism. So shout out to you, Richard.
Thank you.
You can actually buy that set, Conduit Plays, on Repickable from Richard himself, 2BRICKS. If you subscribe to him or follow him, you can also see it.
That looks so sick.
There's a link in his bio and in his descriptions where you can actually go and get the instructions for it with the part list. So definitely worth it if you're interested in that. His other comment. I have been trying to create a Lego flight stick to play some games. I've been having trouble with the outputs. Interesting.
Oh. Yeah, that's beyond me.
Right. If you message me after stream, either on Instagram or stuff, I might be able to figure that out for you, because my girlfriend's dad and brother are electrical engineers, and so if you have an interest in getting that fixed, I might be able to get that fixed for you. No promises, but definitely shoot me a message on my Instagram, which is 2BRICKS on Instagram. If you already follow me there, that's great. But yeah, just shoot me a message there, and I could probably help you fix that.
Now, I feel we have to settle a great controversy here.
Ooh.
2BRICKS, 2BRICKS. Were you just copying me?
Oh! We had this. No, surprisingly. Then again, there's like about 1 billion other people with bricks in their name. And I realized that like so many people are like, come up with a name that doesn't involve bricks. I'm like, why not? It's literally Drew Bricks.
Can't do it. No one can do it.
That's why I think, and this may be an even more controversial question. Should I call myself the plastic framer? Even though there's already Claire, the plastic architect, do you guys think it is allowed to call myself the plastic framer? Drew the plastic framer.
My vote is yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's one yes. Because I'd hate to offend her or anyone else that would be like, oh, you're copying her. I'm like, it's just a name. I don't know. It may even start something like there's the plastic framer, the plastic architect, the plastic bricklayer, the plastic finish carpenter. You know, there's all these tradesmen out there that would work for the plastic animator. There we go.
Hell yeah. But then I'd have to produce animated content for my channel. And
That's true.
that sounds a lot like my day job, which is
Right.
I have
You have done some stop motion before, haven't you?
I have, yeah. And I do enjoy it when I have the time to put into it, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, oh man, I just don't want to animate. I just want to build stuff, you know.
All right, let's see here. Thing is, I can't use Mindstorm and stuff. Yeah, that's still fine. If you still want help, just shoot me a message. I am using a mouse. Okay. Yeah, no promises, like I said before, but if you want to shoot me a message, feel free to. I might be able to help you. I might not be able to help you, but hey, you never know until you try.
It's true. I'm gonna finish up what I'm building here. I have probably 10 more minutes left to go.
Excellent.
Any other questions before we get to the end? Because can you believe it? An hour has already elapsed.
I know, right? An hour, 1 minute, and 40 seconds.
Minus the time that my internet was down.
All right, so now we're at 58 minutes. Ooh, hey, that's a nice one. The plastic minifig here. There you go.
Yeah. I was actually shocked 2BRICKS was available when I searched for it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's like when I was the Bricktown Studios. I was surprised that was still available. I remember, I think on Instagram I had to put the Bricktown Studios, but that almost sounds more formal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm curious where the trend of everybody being either productions or studios came from.
Right.
Everybody's a something productions.
Like, where's the corporation? 2BRICKS Corporation. 2BRICKS LCC.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was being all clever with my name because I'm like, oh, the minimum amount of bricks you need to technically have a Lego model is 2, right? Because once you click those first 2, it's something. But then people pointed out there's all kinds of 1-brick models out there. And I was like, dang it, there is, isn't there?
Right.
But it's too late now. I'm not going back.
I feel you. I feel you. That's another thing is like now a whole bunch of people, because like I just recently broke 5,000 followers. Like they all know me as 2BRICKS. Is it worth the risk to change my name to something else? Is it early enough? You know?
That's true.
And so.
Well, you didn't spend $40 billion and then change the name.
Right? From what, Twitter to X or something like that?
You know, so you're doing okay so far.
Do people still like use Twitter though? Like I remember I used to use Twitter all the time, and then I'm like, I just talk loud enough, everyone can hear my thoughts.
I technically have a Twitter account, but I don't think I've ever tweeted once. I've never X'd either.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff you can find on Twitter and on X now. And I've kind of just slowly that doesn't exist in my life anymore.
No doubt. Yeah, I know social media on the whole is already harmful to an extent.
Oh, for real.
And yeah, when the platform is bad on top of it, and all you're hearing is like the very worst, people's opinions getting elevated, it's like, well, I just don't need that in my life. Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, what's up, Mr. Gronk? Hello. Hello there.
General.
Kenobi. I don't know. I never used it. Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. I don't use it either. But hello, Mr. Gronk. Very nice for you to join. We got a few more minutes left. If you would like to ask us any questions, Richard here, also known as 2BRICKS.
Yeah, man.
Is a animator and a mock builder, and he makes his own instructions, which are phenomenal. Chef's kiss. And then I'm a mock builder, but what are you all building? I am currently building right now the Jedi Temple set at Order 66.
I'm building this shark. I had this creator set's been sitting next to my desk for forever, and I was like, I'm gonna finally crack it open and build it today.
Heck yeah. That's how I'm sitting with. Well, if I go this way, those 2 sets back, or 3 sets, I got the Mandalorian little battle pack, not battle pack, but little set that I haven't built yet. Because I feel like the 3 sets I have there, with the 332nd and the Skyline, I feel like are going to blow up in price eventually. And so I'm definitely going to get doubles of all of them. But I know so many people want that Skyline build from, what's that called? Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Gronk says awesome. Yes, it is awesome.
You need triples though. Triples makes it safe.
That is true. That is true.
That's for all you. I think you should leave heads out there. That's a little reference.
Right. You know what I found surprising was, you know, those, like, you call them what, creator sets?
Mm-hmm.
You can get they're like, I thought they were like $60 to $70. They're only $30 sometimes, and they have 1,000 pieces in them.
Yeah,
it's just because no one buys them. And
yep,
that was
there's some really good stuff out there, and it's one of the few sets you can get that still has like a lot of basic brick in it. I feel like,
right?
So much of the licensed things are like nothing but specialized pieces because they need to be,
Yeah, or all of it.
Look at that! That is a sick looking shark, and I just
right.
What was the set?
JK2BRICKS make an animated version of that set too?
I don't think it was this one, or maybe.
Or he used that as a.
But yeah, he used a
inspiration,
a movable shark to do a little thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, for me, I think, you know, upcoming stuff. I want to do.
Oh no! We lost him again. No. There you go. Now you're back. We've lost you for a little bit. Hello? There we go. You kicked that modem again? Oh no! He kicked the modem. Oh no! Well, on behalf of Richard, also known as 2BRICKS, Conduit Plays, have a nice day to you. Of course, there will be a stream every weekend. We will constantly have special guests. Richard, also known as 2BRICKS, may be my co-host in the future. We're still working that out. But here he goes. Here he is. There we go. He's back.
So, okay, this time was not like, look like that.
You're like,
geez. But yeah, I was going to say, in the coming year, 2024 is going to be the biggest year yet for 2BRICKS. We've got live streaming is going to be coming. Hopefully it'll work better than what I've been doing today.
Sure.
Tons of new mocks. I really want to get an idea set made. So that's going to be my big 2024 goal is I'm going to do a series called Lego Ideas.
Ooh.
And I'm going to build a bunch of original stuff and try to get an idea set made, because that's so cool. That would be amazing.
Definitely.
And yeah, just, I got to just figure out my work-life balance a little bit better so I can spend more time on this thing that I love. But that's that. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Well, Conduit Plays had to head out, and Mr. Gronk said, as our last question or comment, my latest mock I built was Warhammer Space Marine. Nice, dude.
Very cool.
Very good. I heard that game's blowing up right now. They got so much stuff. The stream disconnected for a little bit, but we're good. Looking nice.
Sorry, that's me again.
Well, thank you again, Richard, also known as 2BRICKS, for being here. Really appreciate it. And maybe this will be a show we do together. We will see. The world may never know until we know. But thank you again. Is there anything you'd like to plug or promote? I know there's something behind you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can get the Ghost pretty soon. I've just finished the instructions, so that'll be coming out in the next day or two. Check out my Rebrickable page. Check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Show me some love.
Yes,
definitely. Lots more stuff coming soon. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And we will, this will be posted on my channel, so anyone can rewatch it. Leave a comment. We will both answer them if you want to. I'll be there in the comment section later on.
Yeah.
For those who watch it later or rewatch it. Appreciate all you who came in, commented, talked to us. We love it. And we will talk to you guys later. And yeah, have a great day, guys. You too.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Of course.